books. While we're on the subject of books, I thought I'd talk about books. It's Bookcase Tuesday, as you can see. I have to get used to the fact that everything's turned around. But look, I've got the sky up there. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's all the artwork from Final Fantasy. You know it. It wasn't that expensive. When I got it, it's nice. The first book that I'm reading, I've already shown this, but it was with the green screen fuck up, basically, because you can't. I've learned that you cannot hold up, well, anything basically, but certainly not anything green in front of a green screen. So I was talking about the fact that I was reading about Studio Ghibli. See, I did it wrong again. Studio Ghibli. This is just a marker where I am. This is the Studio Ghibli book that I wanted to show. It's a little bit about the history of these two characters that started the studio, Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata. And basically it goes into all of the films and series that they made, and it talks about those. There's some artwork in here. These are basically pictures from from some of the series and films that they made. My Neighbor Totoro right there. That's Totoro. So there's some pictures in there, not too many. See if I can find pictures from. I'm watching Conan. Yeah, My Neighbors the Yamadas also there. It's this one. See if I can find some pictures of what I'm watching right now, but they're not. So anyway, this is what I wanted to show. This is what I'm reading. It's not too big. You know, you can finish this in a day. I started reading it, but it's sort of a hard read. You know, it just the chapters are just. I'm currently at Grave of the Fireflies, and it sort of describes a little bit about what happens. And then after a couple of pages, it goes into the whys and the hows of the film, and My Neighbor Totoro is the next one. In that sense, it's a hard read because if you really, I'm trying to read a bit of the book and then watch the movie, or link the two together. It was £13. I don't know where. Oh, my wife got this for me. So this is the ISBN and the QR code. You could probably scan it if you wanted to. Recommend it. It's nice. Also, since I am following Electric Adventures series, Tony, on programming a retro game. My initial goal was to do that for the Commodore 64 because that's basically what I've had in mind. And it's one of the goal systems that he has. Frankly, I think. Well, no, I'm curious to see how he's going to make the move from ColecoVision MSX, Z80 programming to the 6510, the CMOS chip that the Commodore uses. So just to be ahead of the game, I thought I'd read up on Z80 programming. And I asked Tony, what are the books that you recommend I read? And he recommended two, and I found them from the same seller actually. Programming the Z80 by Rodney Zacks, how appropriate can your name be? Which is fairly thick. This is an old library book. You can see by the sticker here. It's fairly knackered. It's beat up and thumbed through, and so there's still place for the library card there. And it's a 30p. I didn't pay 30p, but I'm guessing this is sort of like a location. It's actually withdrawn for sale from Enfield Libraries. And this goes fairly deeply into the Z80, and it's you know, this is the sort of the binary calculations that this is really basic stuff. So it takes you by the hand from the beginning. Most of the stuff I already know, but I enjoy reading it, you know, again. It never hurts to sort of go over that again. And there's this one, Advanced Z80 Machine Code Programming by William Nitschke. And I haven't even looked inside this. This looks very much different. There's a lot of code here. Adventure games into this. I think this is a little more applied. Although this also goes into the... All these books go into binary calculus. They all do the same. And that's just padding out your book, I think. Naturally, you would want your readers to, you know what you're talking about when you're doing binary stuff, and it is important when you're doing machine language programming. But all the books do the same. You know, it's look at this. This is just an old-fashioned print from one of those line printers, a matrix printer's output. I haven't even looked inside this, but these were the two books that Tony recommended to me, and that I got from the same seller, actually. So it was fun. One of the books, and I don't think I'm gonna try and read it. One of the books came with this, and as someone, you know, chances are small that the person who wrote this, or, you know, Burns Celebration Night, is a guy called Burns, or is there some sort of address to a haggis? A poem for your Burns Celebration Night? Is Burns Celebration Night something? Is it like a circumcision party or something? Anyway, it's Scottish. It is in a form of English that I cannot read. Just do me a favor, James Monkey Spaz, make a video and what does this say? How do you pronounce this? What is this? Fair fire honest soncy face, great chieftain of the puddin' race. I don't know what the hell this is. So do me a favor. Hey neighbor. Yeah. We're glad with that, aren't we? Yeah. It's my neighbor. Walking his dog. So, James or John, Jail76 Gaming, have a crack at this. I'd love to know what it says. Another thing that I wanted to show is I pre-ordered a book. Sorry about that. I pre-ordered a book that was recommended to me by Panamus, and it is written by Don, and Don has a YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to as well, and I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna make a little bit of a recording so that you might start recording. I've looked it up. I pre-ordered this book. This book doesn't exist yet, but you should be seeing this now. The Dead House. Written by Don. Don has a YouTube channel. You may even can I look that up? I might be able to look that up. I'll put a link in the description, as I'm gonna mess it up. you have to pre-order it because it's planned for September 15. We actually know the writer. This is her first novel, as I understand, and it sounds like a very exciting book. Over 2 decades have passed since the fire at Elmbridge High, an inferno that took the lives of 5 teenagers. Not much was known about the events leading up to the tragedy, only that one student, Carly Johnson, vanished without a trace, until a diary is found hidden in the ruins. So you can read the rest. It sounds interesting. It sounds like a gripping story that I want to read, and I've pre-ordered it. It's 432 pages. This is the Amazon.com page, which I was hoping had a cover image, but it doesn't. I know there are images available because I saw that on Patty's Facebook page, but I ordered it off the Amazon.co UK site, which is easier for me. But it's available on both. Now, I just wanted to make you aware of it. I can't recommend it because I haven't read it, but you know, knowing, I'm just gonna take a chance, and this feels good. This feels like I already want to know what's going on. So have a look at it, and if you can buy it, pre-order it, and you'll have something to read by the end of the year. Okay. I'm done. Am I done? I want to do a bit of gameplay as well. Can I do a bit of gameplay? I will do a bit of gameplay, and I will do. Sorry. Let me do a bit of gameplay. In order to, no, I'm not going to do gameplay. Wait a minute. Well. Right. For Tony's thing, I have to, or I don't have to, I want to emulate an MSX computer. And as you may be able to see, or may not be able to see, I'm working on a Mac, and on the Mac, the openMSX emulator is probably the best way to go. And I just wanted to, it's been kind of a chore getting the emulator to run with the debugger, but I've done that, and I just wanted to, you know, show you guys what that looks like. The openMSX yeah, it's not working. The openMSX emulator oh yeah. I have to type in a command. I can do only one thing at a time. The openMSX emulator is a machine emulator that it emulates MSX, but you can tell it to emulate any MSX machine that you want as long as you define it correctly. Now, you need the ROMs to do that. You know, you need the system ROMs of an actual system to be able to do anything meaningful with the openMSX emulator. If you download it, it comes with a standard compatible BIOS, which will allow you to run cartridges only. But if you want to do more, you know, actual machine type stuff, you have to have the ROMs. So naturally, you have to have a system and pull the ROMs off that and be on your merry way. what you shouldn't do is go on the internet to and type in commands like, you know, MSX2 ROM torrent and find ROMs like that, because that's illegal. You can't do that. Same goes for the games. You know, you shouldn't go to Emu Paradise and download ROMs there, because it's illegal. You know, you shouldn't do that. So I haven't done that because I have all the systems. I have all the systems and I have all the ROMs, MSX2. So the command that you're seeing is actually booting up my Philips NMS 8250 with the ROM that you know, I have all kinds of machinery and wizards here to pull the ROM code off the actual chips and make it into a file, and I've used that here. And this is what you get. Is that not amazing? It's the 1942 game. Are we having sound? I didn't think so. And we have, you can press space and look at that. Now this is an emulator running, so it's oh, we do have sound. It's probably not that, oh god. I'm not playing this with a joystick. I could, however, do that because the Mac will allow me to actually, oh, I'm dead already, connect a PS3 controller to my, wirelessly even, to my Mac, which I haven't done now, so I'm playing this with the keyboard. But it's just to show you that I can run an emulator on Mac. I know how to install that stuff. I was very happy when that worked. I actually had the openMSX guys help me out with installing the debugger, which was actually, I suck at this normally with the control pad, but now with the keyboard even worse. So that's the end of my video. 1940, was it 1942 or 1945? 1942 on an emulated MSX machine. Is that not amazing? Yes, it is. No, bye. Shit, bye.